right, welcome back, everybody, for another episode of Dollar Bin Digging. This is the article and video that I do for comicbookinvest.com, where I talk about those books that are probably still tucked away in those cheap boxes, those discount bins, those bargain boxes, wherever you find your cheap comics, whether it be at your LCS, at half-price books, Goodwill, yard sales, flea markets. These are the types of books I think you should be keeping an eye out for this upcoming weekend based off of some of the recent news, rumors, things going on in the comics, etc. So just some ideas that are spawned by some of the recent activity going on in the hobby. So these are some things that I'm on the lookout for, and you probably should be looking out for too, because a lot of them are probably still buried out there in those cheap boxes. Hopefully you're still enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Please like, subscribe, hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Consider joining up with our memberships and getting some exclusive video content coming to you very soon. Make sure you're checking out the shorts, which are dropping basically every day. And with that all said, if you want to see what books I got for you this week, just hang out for a few seconds after the intro, and I will be right back. Okay, so to start us off this week, we are going to follow up on something we just talked about maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and that is in relation to the name of Monica Rambeau's character. Her superhero code name apparently is not going to be Spectrum, despite the fact that it was Spectrum inside the Golden Book adaptation that's coming out for the Captain Marvel, the Marvels movie. Apparently, they decided they're just going to go with Photon, which I guess I get it, but I thought that was her mom's call sign, and I guess it's maybe an homage to her mom's call sign. I don't know. I thought Spectrum was probably a better play, or a better idea for them. Maybe it's related to some rights issues with the name Spectrum, but they decided to go with Photon. So we can see here, there was a new release comic that just came out not that long ago, and yeah, they're rolling with Photon, so it looks like that's the way they're going. Granted, I still wouldn't recommend anybody investing in names and name changes and updated names, but it's a fun little thing to find if you can find it. And this next book that we got here is one that has been expensive for a little while, and it's gotten expensive again just because of this news, and that is Avengers Unplugged #5. Yeah, this is a tougher to find book, but it's a 99-cent kind of junky 90s book that you can probably dig out of a cheap box somewhere. This is where she first takes on the name of Photon. You can see here right at the end of this issue that, yeah, so that's the big doings. She takes on the name. I mean, take it for what it is. I mean, it is a fun book, like I said, to have, and if you can find it for cheap, sure, but do not go paying these market prices. But before we get to those prices, also be mindful of the fact that this is a flip book, and the flip book has another cover that you might be able to find in the box with this showing, which is The Untold Tales of Spider-Man #10. It'll look like a newsstand, and you might see this cover, but on the back, it's the Avengers Unplugged #5. So, it's just another way to find it. So with those flip books, might be what's showing in the box, and a lot of other people might overlook it because, they're not looking for Untold Tales Spider-Man #10. They want the Avengers book, but this is the same book. They are one and the same. So keep that in mind as well when you're out there flipping through those boxes. Now, like I said, keep away from the market prices. As you can see here, copies have recently sold for best offer on $40. That was for 2 copies. There was a CGC graded copy that sold for like $55, and then there was $40 for the 6-issue run because Avengers Unplugged only ran 6 issues, so the whole lot sold for about $40. And this is recent sales, so the last week or so. But the asking prices right now, like I said, don't go paying these prices. This is cheap dollar bin hunting. But hey, maybe you can get this. Maybe you can get these prices if you find one for cheap, and you could flip it for $30, $40, or even up to $100 like some of these people are asking right now. Hey, who knows? But as I said, it's still just a name change, first name, or whatever you want to call it. And to me, that's not something I would be banking on long term. It's a fun little thing, but it'll be quickly forgotten about. That said, let's move on to our next little bit of news. And next little bit of news is tied to some options to an indie-related book. Now, these things can be very, very dicey. So once again, I'm telling you to go look for this stuff for cheap, not to go paying market prices, because a lot of this stuff doesn't hold. Indie spec is dicey business at best, but it still could be a fun thing for you to find. And the option we can see here is based off of the Cult of Dracula, which the whole controversy is just because they in the storyline they changed Dracula to a female, and she's almost serpentine a little bit here. It's the character that you see here. This was kind of hot when it came out. At least this B cover, the Shannon Mayer cover, was a little sought after. Not like a ton. It was like double cover, like when it came out. But even that book has kind of come down a little bit. It's kind of still just really a cover price book. But this is something you might be able to dig out of those cheap boxes because it might be overstock. And realistically, you can probably find the cover A, which again, everybody was chasing that Shannon Mayer, but the cover A is probably buried out there. This is just a Source Point Press book, and who knows? So it doesn't hurt to look for it. It doesn't hurt to look for it because even online, you can see here some of these prices are pretty cheap. Sold for $2 just recently, and then as I noted, the Shannon Mayer cover sold for about cover price at $4, and then double cover there for $8. So still, that one could be potentially be cover to double cover, but as you can see here, $2.25 at auction for the cover A, even online, isn't that expensive. So something to keep an eye out for. And the copies online available. You can see $2 for the cover A. Somebody's asking, and then the lot of both covers for $14. It's just kind of examples. But once again, it's something optioned. Not to say anything major is going to come from this. Or should it? It's just a fun little thing to hunt. Again, that's the kind of angle I'm still kind of taking with this. Yes, there are plenty of books that you can find and flip and make some money. Some books you might want to invest in, but by and large, the things I'm listing here, it's just going to be kind of just mostly for fun. It's kind of for fun. This hobby should be fun. We should be out there digging in those boxes, not looking to. I mean, yes, you might find something that'll make you a big return and make you strike it rich, but most of these things are not going to, and you shouldn't be expecting that to happen all the time, because if you do, you're probably going to be disappointed most times, because that's just not how this works. But like I said, for fun, keep an eye out for some of this stuff. Like this next bit of fun. And I'm a big fan of Critical Role's Vox Machina. I like the show. I like the first season. I'm enjoying the second season. And I think it's pretty cool that there was a Battle Chasers Easter egg that I actually missed the first time through. But then I saw this article and I had to go back and look. And yeah, they're there. In this scene where you have all these kind of rogues and, type characters, these scoundrels, there's, it's Garrison and Red Monica, I think, from Battle Chasers. You can see they're right there in the screen, and I thought that was kind of cool. A nice little crossover. Maybe we'll get something out of them. I wouldn't mind watching a Battle Chasers animated show personally, but hey, who knows? I like the series. I'm a Joe Mad fan, so I'm a bit of a fan of the Battle Chasers since it came out, decades ago now. So just keep an eye out for it. You never know. You might find Battle Chasers 1 out there still. There's multiple covers on this as well, including what is this? The Another Universe. That's the most popular one, probably, that Red Monica cover. There's also a foil stamp version. The black cover there is the second print, and I believe that's just kind of the B cover there with the is it Travis Charis? I think it's Travis Charis who did that one. But again, multiple covers on this, but it's still a fun book if you can find it out there when you're digging. And it still does okay, for what it is. I mean, you can see here the best offer on $43 for that Another Universe cover. The second print only got $3, and then the A and B cover basically got a little over 20 for those two on recent sales. Asking prices, however, the cover A is looking for about $24. There's a chromium version of this book as well. Somebody's looking for almost 70 for that, and then somebody's looking for 90 for that. Again, that Red Monica Another Universe cover, which again it is limited, but it is really cool cover. You get it in person, it's kind of nice. So I do have one of those because, like I said, I'm a fan of the series. But just keep an eye out for the regular when you're out there digging. The A and the B, it could be a fun little find, and it's there. There is a preview edition, issue 0, that came out before this, but still, the issue 1 is a good book to have. And again, I dig the art. I dig the art a lot. Now, keeping on this same tone with the Critical Role, we also got news this week. We talked about it on the TAC show yesterday that Mighty Nein is also getting an animated show coming to Amazon Prime Video. So we're going to get another series, another group of characters from this D&D world, I guess. And so it's something to look forward to. I don't know much about this team. I didn't know much about Vox Machina before I started watching it. I had broad strokes ideas. It was like a popular campaign that they adapted a couple of different ways, but I'm looking forward to this one as well. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And what you can find for this is there was a recent Free Comic Book Day Origins book that kind of introduced these characters in comic book form, at least, in this Free Comic Book Day. Witcher. Witcher's on the other side. I think this was 2021. It was just in the last couple of years. It might have been 2020, 2021, somewhere in there. But again, it's just like a little preview, because what Dark Horse did following this is they released these trade paperback of, well, actually, I think they're hardcovers, but these collected editions, origin stories for each of the individual characters, basically what, their history before they led up to joining together is part of this campaign. And here are some of the covers that you could see for the trades. I say trades, but I think they're hardcovers. Again, they're all origins, so they're focusing on individual characters. You can see they're from Jester, Caleb, to Yasha, and then there's a couple aren't even out yet. Some of these are coming out soon. Like I think the Molly one is coming out in May. I think the Fjord is coming out in February, and then I think the Brave is the one that just came out recently. So these, and they come out, I think they're like 16 to 20 bucks thereabouts. The asking price for these. But again, I'm not telling you to find these books. You're not going to find it because these are like hardcovers or trades. You're not going to find these for $1. I just wanted to show you this so you know what other content is out there if you want to go and read this stuff. But as far as comic book form, it's really the Free Comic Book Day book here. And you can see here, I actually picked up a couple of these. Somebody recommended, I can't remember who recommended it to me when they heard that I was interested in Vox Machina. They recommended this book, and I grabbed a couple, a couple months ago. But you can see here, it's still not expensive. It's $3, $10 that they've sold for recently online. Asking prices, again, anywhere from like $2.50 to $5. Plenty of cheap copies. I mean, it is a Free Comic Book Day book after all. So, it was free at one time. So, maybe you can find it out there. And a lot of time, these Free Comic Book Day books end up in the dollar boxes. And like I said, I'm pretty sure it's Witcher on the other side of this thing. But I didn't grab an image of it. So just keep an eye out for this. Keep a lookout. All right, moving on to our next little bit of story. What do I got for us next? Going back to Marvel. So there's rumors now coming about that we might get the Serpent Society in the New World Order, the new Captain America movie. That movies are going to be if this is true, this movie's going to be jam-packed with characters and content. I mean, they're talking about Thunderbolts, they're talking about Thunderbolt Ross, and all, who knows. A lot could be going on in this movie. It might be more of like Civil War was like more of an Avengers story as it is than just a Cap movie. So who knows? But that all said, the Serpent Society, that'd be an interesting group of villains. We would see. Now, if you believe in the previews, like if you were a preview collector, then you're probably going to want to look for the Marvel Age Annual for their first. They kind of get a little bit of a tease in here because it's what Marvel Age was. It kind of was a little preview book. It showed you some interior pages of some upcoming books and things like that. So there are some of the Serpent Society characters fighting Cap inside the previews of this Marvel Age Annual #1. Now, if you could find this thing, it does okay. It's like a, $10. Well, one sold for $1, but it's really $10 to $12 most cases, but you can see there one even sold online for $1. So again, dollar bin digging. You can even do it online apparently. Asking prices like $9 to $13. So as I said, it's right in that $10 kind of range. This first annual for Marvel Age, but that's if you like collecting that stuff. If you believe in the preview as being a first appearance, there you go. If you don't, well, then you're going to want to look for the Captain America number 310. I remember. Actually, I think I put this in one of my very first dollar bin digging articles over on the site, and I mistakenly was calling this the first. I think it was Cottonmouth because of the Luke Cage, but it's not the same character as the character in Luke Cage or Diamond. It was Diamondback. No, it was Diamondback because there's a Diamondback on in Luke Cage as well as on this team for the Serpent Society, and I incorrectly was saying, well, it's the first Diamondback because it is, but it's not the same Diamondback. But here, you get the whole Serpent Society inside of here from, all these different characters. Cottonmouth and Death Adler, Black Mamba, Diamondback. Well, hey, look, you get them both. But they're all in here. Again, they're kind of silly a little bit. I mean, it is what it is. They're snake-themed characters. It's almost like G.I. Joe versus Cobra at this point. But I remember still hunting these books for $1, and I do have a few of them around here somewhere. And apparently, this is ticked up. I don't know if it's been that recent, but copies have been selling for anywhere from best offers on $15 to $30. That's a bit extreme to me. But then I looked at the asking prices, and most of the asking prices are in that $10 to $25 kind of range. Even at $10, that's with 6 bids, with 6 days left. The buy it nows are 20, and then there's an auction. Like I said, it's like $22 right now with 9 bids with 3 days left. So I don't know. I guess there's a lot of steam behind this rumor, or people just really like the Serpent Society. I don't know. But I might have to go dig out the extra copies that I picked out of dollar bin, because this book, I found this in dollar bins all the time, especially when I was looking for them, because I thought it was tied to Luke Cage at the time with the Netflix shows. But, good luck. They're still probably out there. All right. I think our last story for today is going to be a little bit of a longer one, because there's a lot of books to go over for this one. And this is going into The Flash. I still don't know what to expect from this movie. I don't know if I'm really looking forward to it per se, but I'll probably watch it. But apparently they've leaked that the main villain is actually going to be the Black Flash. So we have a little bit of a tricky series of books for you to look for if you're talking about first appearances. Basically, you want to get this whole run anyway, because it all goes kind of to the storyline. But first book, first option, Flash 138. So Flash 138, Human Race Part 3 of 3, ends one story arc. And at the end of that story arc, we get this little tease for the Black Flash is coming next, because that's the next 3-issue story arc is going to be covering the Black Flash. But here, we get this one panel at the end of the book. I guess you call it a cameo. That's what we get. So that's what you're going to get if you're looking for issue 138. Now, this book does all right. Been selling for 12 to kind of $20 recently. Asking prices right now are like $24 to $40, so it's a little steep for this book. Again, I found these in dollar bins before. I always look for them when I'm digging through the Flash books. I always look for the Black Flash. You never find Impulse anymore, but I always look for the Black Flash books, because it was always a decent return if you could find them, especially get the whole set. Be the 3 issues, 139, 140, and 141, and then if you can tack on 138, you do all right. I bring that up because we're going to go through all of these. So the next one in the series is issue 139, which is the first part of the Black Flash. Now you would think, okay, here he is. He's going to show up. This is the big event. But nope. Once again, we get this tiny little cameo in this story as he basically takes out Iris West here. Well, I guess, yeah, just you can see there. It's just a reflection in the eyeball. So that's it. That's all we're getting out of the Black Flash. So it's, once again, just kind of a cameo in this next issue. But, yeah, still can do all right. Some copies sell for pretty cheap. Best offer on $3, or it can sell up to $12. Some recent sales. Asking prices are anywhere from $5 to $12, up to $40. Yeah, it is what it is. People can ask what they want to ask, but that's what you're looking at for this issue. Now, maybe it's the next issue where you get the first appearance, right? It's part 2. Part 2 of the Black Flash. We got a nice tombstone here. Oh, it's Linda Park. I'm sorry. It wasn't Iris. It was Linda Park. My bad. But here, in this one, we get another last page splash. So it once again could be considered another cameo. So a third cameo first. I'm getting exhausted with this. But yeah, that's all it is. He doesn't show up until the very end of this book, but he's actually there this time. Not a tease, not a reflection in an eyeball, but it is this deathly zombified looking character, which could be pretty cool on screen. I mean, I like how it's drawn here. I mean, I think it's kind of a cool look. But that said, what does this one go for? Well, this one I can only really find sold in a lot that had the 3 issues, the 3 parts, 139 to 141. You saw best offer on $30. One sold back at the beginning of January, so a couple of weeks ago. Asking prices for this book, again, anywhere from $8 all the way up to $30. So once again, it's still technically just a cameo with a third cameo. So I don't know, Ken, how you want to rank these as far as which books you would like to have first. So this is what, like I said, you really want to try to get all of them. It all goes together. It's all part of the same story. So you kind of want all of them anyway, or at least I do, and I would. That said, here we go. Our last issue, the third part, the Black Flash, part 3 of 3, number 141. Finally, I'm only going to show you the one bit, but yeah, right at the beginning of the story, he's there. So he's throughout this whole issue. Call it your first full, whatever you want to do. It is what it is. You saw the cameos. I showed you what was inside. You can call it whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to get, I'm not going to get all caught up in the semantics of cameos and firsts and first fulls and all that stuff, because to me, what you call it doesn't matter. you get what you want to get. And like I said, I want to get them all because it all goes together with the story. So I want to read all of it anyway. So I want them all. But that said, you can value them how you want to value them. This particular book, because of that, can sell pretty good. $30, $75 for CGC. What is that? 9.6 maybe? I can't really read the grade there, but still, there's a graded copy for $75. Raw copy selling for $25 to $30 recently. And then we go to what the asking prices are. Asking prices could be as cheap as $15 at a starting bid. And then there's $50 buy it nows, and then up to $100 buy it nows for this book. So this one can get pretty pricey. So I guess people like this because it's a full story, full appearance, I guess. So this one might be valued most out of the group. But I showed you what's inside. You make the call of what you want to do with them. I just say look for all of them. If you're digging, you're going to look for all of them anyway. So that all said, that's all I got for you this week. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and hopefully you're still enjoying this series. Thanks for stopping by and checking this out. Make sure you come back. We got new stuff dropping every day, whether it be the live shows on Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday, or the recorded stuff that I do on the other days. And then we got the boys doing my Mail Call Madness tomorrow. So come back and check them out as well. I think they got Darth Lopez joining Jedi and Dom on tomorrow's show. And then Saturday Night Special on Saturday. As I said, live show. They're going to be doing some new segments. We'll have Tales from the Dark Side, the Star Wars show on Sunday, and then Monday we'll start it all up, and I'll most likely go back to the regular schedule of Hidden Gems, Chasing Ghosts on Monday, Tuesday, the Tax Show Wednesday, Dollar Bin here on Thursday. I still have toy videos I might work in here and there, might swap some things in and out, play with the schedule a little bit, but hopefully you're enjoying all the content, and like I said, keep checking out the shorts too, because I'm having fun putting those little things together too, set to some of that 8-bit music, because I think it's kind of cool. But like I said, let me know what you think. Hopefully you're still enjoying it, and thanks for checking this out. I appreciate you all. I'll see you later with some more content. All right, bye.